Let's go!
How about now? Do you have audio? I feel like there is. Okay, but you can hear me if I am speaking like this, correct? Now you can hear me. Waiting for the yes. I think it's going to come. Okay, excellent. So we're going to do it this way. I apologize for all of the technical difficulties, my friends. I very, very much appreciate your patience and understanding in these oh so trying times. I did succeed in getting the chat up and running. I was tested by the machine gods. They do not like me. And therefore, blah. So we are skipping our normal stuff as it is apparently 426 on my computer. My computer just happens issues. So that's good enough. So we're skipping. Yes, the silliest thing about that is on the Twitch side of this beautiful thing. It's not there. So I have removed it and it does not want to remove. Therefore, today you will be seeing that I can disable it in the settings and it will be there for the whole story time. It's the beauty of the curse of the great mechanical gods. They don't like me in this moment. By next week, this will be totally fixed. Earlier today, none of this was a problem. So if you do know how to remove that, that would be awesome. But I do not know how to remove that. We are live on Twitch though, and that is the goal. So we'll go. Oh yeah, you're so right. Holy cow! Wait a second, you're right. No, no, no. We are back on Discord, friends. Not Discord, haha. Twitch. There we go. Thanks, August. Appreciate it. That's a really good point. And we will go back here. Hello. Goblin Storytime. I wonder how many people I can make go back. And okay. So posts have been made. And we shall begin. So, to catch everybody up, it's story time. By me, hi, I'm Cord. Sometimes I have technical difficulties, but you can hear me, and the audio quality is probably not great. That's okay. I will figure out why mics aren't working later. What matters is stories and Oogie Boogie hats. So those are essential. This is replacing my mask today. Don't feel like it. That is okay. Tech gods have spoken. We're going to do a quick recap for anybody who missed where we're at and what we're doing. So, this is episode 4 of Goblin Storytime. Goblin Storytime is a brainchild of mine where I tell stories on the internet because it's fun. And then it's hosted and supported by the Bench Network, which is Kenneth and Horace's brainchild of making more fun fighting podcasts that are good. And so I like that and support that. I'm super down for that. This is the first time I've ever streamed anything, so I really appreciate you guys bearing with me with the technical stuff. I have not had any technical issues like this one yet, but we do have the chat up now, which is way cooler than it was before. So now I can see you guys talking to each other. This will be fun. Again, I do apologize for the delay. but we're going to jump right into it. Again, my name is Cord. I have a new TV on my head. That is because I decapitated him, and I am now the shadow on the moon. So today we will be finishing, I think, Neb Stories. And so first we're going to do a drop the bean moment. For those of you who do not know where we're at in the story, we begin with who the heck is Neb? Filet, who do you think is Neb? Filet says Neb is one of the first five great goblins. I think he's the third, and he is badass. And then he dies, and then he's reincarnated because that's how goblins work. And this time, many years, many reincarnations after Ball kicked the face out of him, he's reincarnated as Nebuchadnezzar, who is the Goblin King of Nazar. He is the first basically true goblin that has shown up in millennia. Well, at least a long time. And we followed his birth and early activities so far through his story. We've talked about the birth of Neb. We've talked about how he fought a war that was really being rude and mean to all the other goblins. He was like, all right, we're not doing none of that shit no more. I'm going to scare the shit out of you and beat the snot out of that door. And then we talked about how he kicked the shit out of the Baron, right? A really evil human. He ended up climbing into a tree and slicing off his member. It was primo goblin tactics, right? Cut him where it hurts. And then we talked about the fire monkey, right? Where he got really annoyed that there was a fire monkey and he went up and beat the shit out of the fire monkey. And now he's Herculean and has like this fire monkey cloak, which is pretty legit. We talked a little bit about how he got summoned, right? There's a big story about Ukek and how he took over the clan and the tribe in that Pinky Knight story where he killed the Baron. And then he got, and then he got summoned by something. Really, it's the spirit of wrath with the power of Malicious God summoned him under the lava, all far, far, far away, where he found Wrath's armor, which is kind of a really cool big deal. And then it made him kind of really strong. Lots and lots of goblins swarmed to him, and he created a citadel, created a freaking empire. Goblins don't create empires. We're not the most. We're not colonizers. We're not. How can I say empire builders by trade? That's not our. It's not our typical way of being as goblins, you know. But Neb kind of was able to be an empire builder, and then he started really getting into it with the king. But me, interesting, interesting. I'll have to think on that. No, wait, what? I would not. Weird commercial break. I don't know what commercial is happening. That is fair. Um, Neb created Empire, and then elves were like, hold on, wait a second, that's a problem. So the King of Stars just started bombarding this empire, and then we've gotten into this big war. And remember, the very end of the King of Stars, which is where we last off, it ends with these words, right? With Neb over the foolish elf. The foolish elf, he tried to stand and tried to crawl away, and then he said, no, kill him. No, aren't those wizards? Where? What? And he looked around in confusion and laughter, but there was no spells. There was no arrows. Answers from the rocks. Nothing. And finally, the elf archmage standing in the shadows. Arcus Lewis, help me. But in response, the mage jerked, right? Arms and legs flailing all out. And basically, the goblins were using him as a puppet. Now the King of Stars is like really just screwed over. And Cheetah was cackling as she was using the Cheetah being the witch doctor was cackling as she was using the corpse as a puppet, which is kind of funny. And all the goblins in the rocks where all the archers used to be and all the elfie wizards used to be were cackling, laughing. And boom, Nebuchadnezzar kills. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. less ads. Stabs the ever living crap out of the King of Stars and kills him. So bye bye. And that's coming to catch you up where we are. So at this point, Neb is like adult goblin, really freaking powerful. It's been very clear and made clear by a witch doctor that he is the reincarnation of Neb. So he's taken the name Neb. He's Nebuchadnezzar. He's the king of Nazar. He has this giant empire. And now we just killed motherfucking King of Stars, which is like the primary elf king. This is a big fucking deal. There are two more stories in the Neb Stories. And then I'll open it up for Q&A and we'll do something a little different. But the first of the two is Neb and the Ten Empires. The second of the two is Neb and the Dragon, which, for those of you who are Neb fans, it's a great story. No, Oogie Boogie, you can't have any water. But if you want to wear shades, we can see if this will work. Does it? Hey, it's kind of, but not for you. Okay, so before we get into story time, who all is here? Let's see. We have the techno, we have the macro, we have the bench, we have Koto Stetson. Well, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. And we shall jump into this a short game. Just before we do, since I have you guys here, I just want to remind you, please do support Beard if you can. They're doing really well on the GoFundMe, but everything we can do to help would be awesome. He is battling cancer. He's a legend of the game. So there's a link in the chat. If you haven't seen it yet, please share. Donate. Shares are great. Even just spreading the word is appreciated. So you got this, Handy. We love you, man. All our juju to you, bro. All right. So also, hi, it's me. You know me. Don't need to. So we're gonna jump right to it. This is Neb and the Ten Empires, boogie style, So I have it baffled to be King of Stars, and really appreciate it. And Goblin also got to be really big battle. I will actually, like, I can say your name correctly. No, it's just, Is the intro playing? Oh shit. I'm sorry. Hang on. That shouldn't have played at all. Can you guys hear now? This is the problem of not having headphones. I can't hear anything. So hopefully there is no intro. Can somebody clarify that the audio is done? Okay, cool. There will be no more. I apologize. So we're gonna get right into it. So the elf strength he crashed. It's good, right? And the city he smashed into rubble, and the king started to be dead. Huzzah! These are great things and great celebration that last many days and nights as the goblins finally get to take revenge on all those that tormented them for so long. There be enough delicious elfies for all the goblins of Nazar to eat until they be full, which is like really awesome, but elves are delicacies. So they are so excited to eat. And then they can take all of the treasure they want from the crumbling tower, and it just spills out into Maleshikad's temple and into the street. And the goblins have more shinies than they know what to do. I just want to pause here and interject outside of the story. A temple to Maleshikad is unheard of and fucking awesome. And I'm going to be doing more things with that. So thank you, Kazi, for discovering that. But not back to the story. But not be worried. Let's be real. He is he's pretty good at being smart, right? He goes, something's wrong. And so he says, the goblins bring news of great activity beyond the mountain. That's encircled Nazar. And beyond the mountains, there be an immense plain filled with huge number of these Well, they said pinky, but again, I prefer brick. So brick oomies, right? Oomies, and they call themselves the land of the ten empires. The land of the ten empires. That's how it's said. Right. And Neb knows that for all the strength of the kingdom of stars, which is a lot, the humans may be a bigger threat because you see, in many ways, the humans is most goblin-like of all of the non-monstery pinky races. The Greeks. Ugh. It's a strange thing to say, but in lots of ways it's true, right? They're very numerous. They spread out and grow. Some of them are prone to chaos and madness and mayhem. They have the ability and tendency to move and make quick decisions, uh, which is very different than the elfies and the dwarf things. Let's be real about that. And so when men hear of strange things happening in the Ten Empires, he smells, he'd be wary. Neb sends scouts out, many scouts out into the empires. All of them come back with the same story. Villages are empty, fires burning day and night, smoke filling the air, and everywhere men and women riding, thousands and thousands of them. The message is clear. The Humies already learned of the fall of the Kingdom of Stars, and all 10 nations be rallying up to destroy the goblins before they grow any stronger. The humans move fast, these Humies do. Now you know he only have a few days, maybe a week before the Grick host reaches him. It'd be a bad situation. One in three goblins be dead from the elf force. And then the 10 empires combined, human soldiers outnumber every goblin and goblin child, which we call snotlings, but snotlings are also their own thing. It's kind of complicated. In this and he goes, shit, the goblin nation gonna survive? I got to move real quick. The celebrations were brought to a sudden end as the war drums shake the city again. And before they is done pounding, the city is empty. Because you know when say humans is most like the goblins because they move fast. I'm not suggesting they act fast as us because it's not true. Because no one moves like the goblins, let's be real. The goblin host formed ranks and it rushed down the valley past the elf vale to narrow out to the human plains. The goblins call it the Blood Gate, a cracking mountains circling the Tsar, broken and rocky, cramped between two bladed peaks named Thunder and Fire. Oh, excuse me, I butchered it. Thunder and Flame. The land is so poisoned with the blood of enemies of the Tsar that nothing ever grew. There already be thousands of humans advancing, troops of the Empire's armies advancing. And the goblins sweep to the side like nothing. Some knights is foolish and trying to hold us back, but most just be running after seeing comrades thrown down and torn to pieces, ripped off of horse, the goblin way. Neb let them run. He not pursue into the flames. If he do, he knew he would run and wild and burn hundreds of huge cities, smash armies, and destroy the empire before he crushed. But he knew he eventually would be crushed, and that was not acceptable. Instead, he split his army into four parts. He leave a handful to keep any humans from approaching, and to scale thunder and flame to find the goblin works carved deep into the mountainside, and set fire to ancient war beacons built into flame slopes, and shake the mountains with thunder's drums. The second group, that's what the first group had. He made him do a lot of things, it's a lot of work. The second group he sent back into the mountains to chop down the trees and drag them to the gate. I don't know, sometimes goblins don't like trees, I like them, but chop them down. That's what Neb said. Almost every tree, right? The third group he sent to the ruined kingdom of stars, and each come back with as many stones as they can carry. Fourth, remember, he split it into four. Fourth, he sent to make a mortar. Almost every tree in path is chopped down. Every stone from the kingdom of stars, right? I know, is carried away. Trees and stone and mortar is piled together in 2 days. Goblin ingenuity. After Neb arrived at the gates, a massive wall stretched from thunder to flame, high and thick, with one mighty gate in the middle, made from one whole solid oak tree and set with unbreakable goblin roots because goblin witch doctors, Tika makes cool shit. The greatest rune of all be set in the center of the gate, the burning eye of Meleshnikov, wide and open and furious, drawn by Balthazar, remember Neb's father, in goblin blood. And good thing, because on day three, remember that in 2 days, on day three, the army of 10 empires descended on Nizar. It'd be a terrible sight for the goblins of Nizar, an unending wave of armored enemy soldiers stretching past sight, far past sight. Siege weapons rolling in the back, thousands of armored knights riding before them like heralds of the tempest. But it must have been worse for the humans to approach a vision of hell. The razor peaks shrouded in smoke, in the sky blackened, and the mountains burning, the air quivering from the drums and thunder slopes, and the sharp voices of goblins screaming and laughing, the wall and mountain crawling, hundreds of thousands of monsters calling for their pink blood. Whom held by one. The Holy Host was led by Knights of the Ten, maybe like Knights of the Good Looking and an order of humans that the source of the Empire's unity and feel the most powerful. Even the rulers of the 10 empires be subject to the Grand Masters of Knights, and they call together the Council of Uman Kings and decree a plan of assault. Each empire given a stretch of the wall to assault. That's how big this wall is. However, they see fit. Knights of the Knights of the 10 declare they break down the goblins' gates themselves because they think they're so strong. The goblins are so weak. Next day, the assault begins, but it got nowhere. The wall too high for pinky siege towers, and it slopes. They not even be able to get close enough to draw bridges. The Humies can climb up the wall, but it's slow going and treacherous, and the goblins rain missiles and magic and rush down on them and throw down and tumble back down the wall. Nav's works not be like normal wall. That'd be hard and firm, but able to crack. It'd be massive pile of stones held together with sticky mortar and braced with entire trees. Catapults and trebuchets slam stones into it, but they just sink into the face of the wall and do little damage. Maybe they even make it stronger, supposedly. The Knights of the Ten, meanwhile, bring up tremendous rams crowned with steel and filled with magic to shatter Washikan's gate. First ram brought, and brave knights push it through a blizzard of arrows and torrents of oil. Oil is good for burning. Uh, it be blackened for coating, a rod bitter with iron hanging from twisted chains. The breaker of many, many gates. It rolled into position, and the knights pull back the chains and send Ram forward in mighty blow against Mleshikod's rune. But nothing happened, except a tear, shrieking sound, as the ram twisted and snapped along its entire length. The knights falling to the ground, shocked, crushed, as the ram collapsed in ruin. They got crushed. First, they be miserable failures to the empire of 10 empires. The 10 empires, not the entire 10 empires, the 10 empires. Many humans be laying dead on the wall and not even touch the crest. So, the beginning of the Great Siege of Bloody Gates not go so well. It lasts for 3 seasons. That's how the Bloody Gates siege began. Through icy winter into next muddy spring, the humans tried every way they know to break the wall, and nothing inside besieged Nizar. Nothing worked. Goblins getting lean and hungry, but war spirit burn hot. They not care if they have food as long as they have humans to kill. and sometimes they don't eat their own. No, we don't do cannibalism. And there be plenty of humans to kill and eat until the plain before Bloody Gates be full of barrows and burial mounds, and human encampments with walls and steels and streets and huts be turning into cities of living dead. The humans, they're impatient. Even when they know something be necessary, they can get tired of it. It be so at sieges. Eventually, human came to be complaining and bitter to knights of ten, whining about all their men dying, how their cities at home be unattained, unattended, and vulnerable. Grandmaster cursed Pinky weakness, but no, he must act quick or risk collapse of the army. So when spring comes, he prepared a final assault. Holy magic is gathered to neutralize Fleshicod's spirits, and so to burn against the gate, right? New ram is made from steel and iron, and all the knights of the tent were still living, no matter how aged or wounded, gathered to attack, and all the other human armies massed and prepared to scale the wall at once when the knights break the gate, as if they could break the gate. I don't know. I don't know about that. I feel like that's not likely. Anywho, Nebuchadnezzar watches the Pinkies, the Grig, prepare for the wall top, and he know that it be time. Nothing seems unusual for the Greek Dazzling as they prepare to attack, except they notice goblins is hanging chains from the many huge tree trunks that stick out of the top of the wall. No one knows why. And they're too caught up in the anticipation of battle to think about it. Humans don't think that much. Finally, the attack was launched, and it all seems to be going well. The Knights of Ten reach the gate and begin to scour the rooms away. Goblins' defensive fire seems weak and ineffective, and the armies, of the Ten draw closer to the wall in preparation. We're going to do it. The Knights of the Ten take front of the Goblin Fury. They get cut down, smashed, burned, and half where they stand, but more step forward unafraid. I guess there were a lot, like 10 of them. Finally, uh, the rune is marked. This is the big Maleshikon ivory, and the ram is brought forward. This time, as the light of dawn soaked the plain, there be thunder of wood straining and then breaking. A thrill goes through the massive brick armies, and the great cheer erupts as they surge forward, eager and bloodthirsty. They're bloodthirsty fillet. Oh no! Um, where was I? Yes, they're bloodthirsty, and they're just so excited to beat the snot out of these hated goblins they hate so very much. And they pour up the wall behind the shelter of shields. And, do as goblin archers and stones and arrows just bounce ineffectively off. Finally, the goblin gate collapses in with a roar, and the host of the Ten Empires rushes in to attack. Over the broken gates and into the gaping tunnels sweep the Knights of Ten. Hooves pounding, because they're riding horses. They're not horse people. And sunlight shining off steel. The Grand Master at the head, I guess he lived, sharp glance lower. Deeper and deeper, the Knights of the Ten charge through the tunnel, until suddenly the front row smashes headlong into something solid and immovable. Horses scream and knights cry out in pain as more knights pour into the tunnel, pushing forward, slowly crushing the bones of their own comrades. The Grand Master fights to breathe through broken ribs as he slowly cleaves, squeezed against cold stone wall. It is not an entrance at all, he realized. It's just a hole dug halfway through the wall and set with a massive gate. Maybe he weep bitter tears as his men are trampled and crushed all around him by their own men. But who would know? Because right then Neb springs his trap. Behind the wall, the entire goblin fort is massed and ready. Thousands of chains stretch from tree trunks down to them, and at his order they pull. A huge lever began to slowly push the stone wall outwards. Stones began to tumble down the slope of the wall, slowly at first, until the wall suddenly gives way. The Grip armies is swept up in the walls when there is a huge thud from the stone. But they don't have a long time to think about it. when all of a sudden the wall lurches beneath their feet. The stones begin to slip, and without warning, the entire face of the monstrous fortification bulges out and collapses in an avalanche that sweeps out and swallows the massive armies of the Tenth Empire. The homies cry in despair as life is smashed from them. Thousands of goblins with that Neb had posted on top of the wall shriek in laughter as they ride down the stones, down, 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 down to their deaths. Pinky Kings be watching some old Grit die in shock, heart attacks, that kind of stuff. Some kill themselves in despair. Oh my. And others turn and flee in a panic. And a few brave ones stand to fight, but none live. Neb lead his horde over the collapsed wall, over the tomb of the Hume hopes, and everywhere can be bodies sticking from the rocks, some calling out in pain, none still be alive after the goblins passed. Neb led, Neb led his armies out into the plains, and he burned and burned and burned until there was nothing left of the Ten Empires, until all the Umis fled the land of Nazar, and the entire world trembled at the goblin's whispers. And that is Neb and the Ten Empires. As a recap, basically this shows goblin ingenuity, why you should never trust random tunnels and walls that you're trying to siege. You never know. Could be a trap. Okay, so before I jump into this too far, I want you guys to remember something. Long ago at the beginning, 1993, there was a guy in Israel. In Israel in 1995 purchased a head. Her head became known as Neb's head. So where does Neb's head come from? Well, today, my friends, on Storytime, we will talk about the final story of Nebuchadnezzar and the story of the Neb head. But before we go on to this story, I would like to know who is still here? Is anybody still around? I do wonder. That's okay. I am no longer, but that is okay. I see we have some friends. Cool. We do have Mango. Hello, Mango. Hello. Hello, Mr. Nadar. Okay. Well, it's a good thing to listen to when you have armor going on. Thank you. Appreciate you. So, uh, we are going to dive to the final story of Nebuchadnezzar's existence. Hello, Piccolo. Okay, the leader. In those days, Nebuchadnezzar, uh, let's be real, he wasn't suitable. He wasn't of the suitable temperament to lead goblins when there was peace. When there was a great threat to goblins, when there was great to slaughter or goblins' own weakness to stand out, no one led more fury or cunning than them. But when there was no challenge, and Neb had crushed all of his enemies and all of the weakness in the goblins, and the world quakes in the fear at the feet of Nazar, as it should be, um, the goblins had nothing better to do than bicker amongst tribes and complain about this or that, and fight each other. So what? That's how Goblin is, I guess. Um, but Ned be king. So they always wanted to bring problems to him. Be like, Ned, this goblin did a bad thing to me. You must do something about it. And Ned get tired of telling them to deal with it themselves and quit bitching. So finally, one day, Ned get up from throne, right? Because at this point, they fucking destroyed everything. Great empire. He gets up from throne. He walked around his guard all the goblins who he pissed at and punched them in the throat, say, he leave it. So he just go around punching his enemies in the throat, or people he doesn't like very much. And then he leaves. He just vanishes deep in the mountain. And just poof, off into the mountain that surrounds Nazari and the vault. Gone. For a while, everyone was really upset. Like, shit, they try to send goblins out and not to bring back him. They either not find him or come back and beat him the hell up. or they never come back at all. And eventually, Nazar gets its shit worked out, right? And they stopped worrying about that. They got an empire, Goblin Empire. And long years passed, and generations of kings rule and die in Nazar. Generations of goblin kings. And the goblins flourished. I mean, for fuck's sake, goblins were actually flourishing. And no one hears of Neb. He's just fallen into antiquity. And then the dragon. The dragon's name was Skazhazat. Skazhazat, the great, mightiest dragon of his time. Far in the north, it slept on ice, golden bed. It's an icy golden bed. And even there, it hear of Tsar. It hear of the powerful goblin kingdom, the rich with plunders from thousand gloomy cities and elfy cities. And it hear of the volcano, Skazharazet, Skazhazaret, the old dragon. And he'd be tired of ice, tired of the dead north. He tired of boredom. He fucking bored. So he goes, all right, I'm going to take this out. The real danger of dragons be that they have the power of armies, but the speed and unpredictability of a single creature. That's just not a good thing. And you never have any warning. And all the goblins heard beating of waves, sudden screams, and then fire pouring from the clouds, like it's up. And it just burned the palace of the kings, and it thrown down the tower of the witch doctors. The chiefest tower was broken, and it slaughtered the goblins as they ran for their weapons. The Khadis threw themselves at the dragon in fury and smashed the weapons, and the witch doctors hurled spells, and and the goblins flee and fill the sky with spears and arrows, and no one could make this fucking dragon. Okay, so then it's raining and dark when the dragon comes, and it's able to hide in the clouds, scuttle over and around the goblin buildings, all throughout the city. Let's just be real. Fighting a dragon in the open is difficult. Fighting a dragon in the city is fucking impossible. And when the darkness, it's like dusk, and now it's nighttime, and when the darkness finally comes, the goblins are broken and despairing, right? Fleeing the city and certain death to hide the forest. And Skazazar taking the air and roar and triumph. Ah, he did it. It's ours is. We fly to the top of the volcano and settle into the nice hot lava sleep, right? You don't want no cold, icy, golden bed. The goblins meet in the forest, not knowing what to do. The king is dead, Khadin's dead, witch doctor's dead. No one left to lead, and many tried to begin to just leave the valley, abandoning the czar as lost. Others stay, refusing to give up. Yet they decide to try and find King Neb and beg for help one more time. But no one's seen Neb in generations. No one has had any word at all from him, and they don't even know if he's alive. They don't really know if a goblin can live that long. No goblin has ever really had the ability to live to old age. We don't count years very well. What? But he was their only hope. Help me, Neb. You are my only hope. Anyway, three goblins. Three. I like three. Three's a good number. Three goblins go into the mountains. On the third day, another three. On the third day, they find him still alive. Neb sitting in front of a cave, chewing on bark, looking starved, and his gray skin, rough, but his eyes burning as ever. The first goblin run out of the woods. Neb, he say, oh, King Neb, I'm so glad I found you. You need to come back to the volcano. You is neat. Is I knowing you, green skin? Goblin stopped speaking. No, Neb. You is Neb, right? Gray Goblin. Stand there. And the little green skinned eyes bug as he sees that old goblin loom over him more than a foot, probably 2 feet, to be honest. Yes, eyes Neb, whoever you are. And with that, Neb cuffed the goblin so hard he fell to the ground unconscious. Neb, sit down again. Congratulations on finding me. The other two goblins very worried now. Second one crawl out of the woods, kneeling before Neb. Neb, please, please, you must help us. The dragon is destroying this arm. Yes, very terrible, awful. You is our only hope, Neb. Our too teaching. Please, you must come and help. What is this? Who is you? Why is you so pathetic, and why should I care? Goblin cringe on the ground. Get the fuck out of my face, you worthless brick lover. Neb screamed. The other goblin scuffles away. Neb now chewing furiously on the bark. Why bark? We don't know. Old teeth grinding away. He look into the forest and stare at the last goblin in the eyes. The last goblin's name is Kit, and he stands, and he walks in front of Neb, and he looked down at Neb, where Neb's sitting. What? Neb demanded. And Kit punched him, just square in the nose. Neb fall back, bird flying, and Kit had his hand on his throat before he hit the ground, a knife out, threatening. Move and he die. Kit screamed to the two goblins he see moving in the cave. He not sure, but he think they grin at him. Ah, Neb had students. He looked back down at Neb. Now you listen, Goblin King. You have a choice. You can come back to the kingdom you created and help us, or you can turn your back on goblins one last time, and I send you to St. Paul, you bastard. Neb grinned. Of course I'm happy to help you, Goblin. You just have to ask like a goblin. Now get off. Kit not move. He not sure what Neb will do. A flicker of anger crossed Neb's brows. Suddenly his teeth flash, and he catch Kit's knife in them. Kit struggled, and suddenly he hurtled through the air and crashed against a tree. He tried to stand, but his eyes opened just in time to see the knife coming and watch it sink deep into the tree trunk beside him. Neb's face being very close now, lined and dark against his green skin. Tell the goblins I'd be there soon. He smiled, and then turned and walked back to the cave laughing. Sure enough, Neb came down out of the mountains the very next day, with the last two members of the great Skrill of Nizar, Mobert the warrior, the strongest goblin to ever live, and Cheetah, the most powerful witch doctor of her age. And before them walked Nebuchadnezzar, forever the king of the goblins, tall and grim, wearing the unbreakable armor given to Reth by Meleshikad, not Medupian, the deep back lines of goblin history. On his shield he bears the crown, the burning mountain of royal Nazar, and on his helm the eye of Meleshikad sit quietly, its fury softly burning beneath the cold iron. They march up the mountain, chanting, and Skazharzar hear them from his burning seat. He explodes from the volcano, wreathed in fire, filled with fury, that the goblins would foolishly challenge him so soon. The great Skrill grew close together and continued to march. The dragons swooped down and burned them with breath, but Neb sheltered the others under his tall shield and laughed, immune to flames. Remember, he had the fire piece cloak. The dragon flies up high, hurls spells at them, but Cheetah turns them away and strikes back. Skazharzar reveals, surprised by the strength from magic in one so small. Finally, he lands and charges them, but Nober and Neb meet him head on and beat him back with sword and hammer, while Cheetah sting him with spells. Bursting with rage, he takes the air again, pursued by magic, and the boulders thrown by Nober and Neb's laugh. Sucks to be a dragon sometimes. He perched on the lip of the volcano. The Skrill is almost on him. Smoke poured from his mouth and from between his scales as he summoned power for the next spell. But Cheetah know what he's going to do, and he striketh the mountain itself and rip its slope with a tremendous earthquake. And that's what he did. The Skrill is tossed in the air and separated from one another, and lava began to pour down the slopes as Skazharzar moved in from the hill. Cheetah, bringing herself upright and knowing she is in danger. She knew. The dragon bearing down on her without the support of Mobert and Neb, she was vulnerable. She summoned all of her magics into one last attempt to bring the dragon down before it reached her. A great whirlwind erupted from her feet, tossing boulders and flames into the dragon's path. It shrieked as it flew through the wind, and the rocks teared its tender wings. But it's still coming. The dragon was too strong and too magical to be defeated, even by Cheetah. As his claws approached, she held out her staff and brake it. feeling the great pull on her soul from deep in the earth. And the moment the dragon's claw touched her and crushed the life of her, all of the dragon's magic be pulled deep, deep down into the earth. And so Cheetah died, but the dragon lost wings and magic, and Cheetah's soul ended up back in the river of Styx. Maubert was closest, and he filled with anger beyond description at seeing his mate killed. He leaped over the rocks and screaming in vengeance, not hearing or caring when Neb yelled at him to wait and to work together. Skazara looked up and in time, just in time, to see the goblin hurling through the air and to catch the hammer blow directly in his chest. He staggered back, the dragon is, not believing its strength, clutching broken scales and feeling where the rib cracked. He lashed out, smashing Maubert to the ground, but the goblin get up and swing again. They smash at each other over Cheetah's broken body as Neb races desperately towards them. The dragon tried to pin Maubert with his claw, but he grabbed the thumb Maubert does and snaps it. The dragon roared in pain and finally crushed him down and smashed him to the ground with his tail, hurling Maubert into the sky. Skazazar smashed him in his teeth, impaling the goblin on the back tooth. But with a yell, the great goblin pushed, and the dragon's jaw began to slowly open. The dragon could not believe what was happening and began to gather fire in its breath. But as the flames began to pour out, Maubert understood he'd be dead. He reached back deep into the dragon's throat, and as his skin peeled from his fingers and his eyes melted, and as his hair burned, he grasped the fragile bit of skin that controlled the flame. And as his muscles erupted and his soul left his body to the river of Styx, he tore with all he had left. The valve was broken, and all of the dragon's flame flushed from him in a tremendous gout, the force of it knocking the dragon back. Maubert ceased to be, his soul already swimming in the river of Styx. Now, the dragon, with a broken claw, no fire, no magic, and no wings. And Nebuchadnezzar is approaching. All the anger that Neb had ever felt in his long, bitter life, nothing could compare to the hate he felt now. He swore to Maleshkad, to Scribbit, to all the gods that cared to listen, that he not die before he avenge his friends and taste the dragon's lifeblood. The dragon looked at him, and he knew it. And on Neb's helm, the flicker of green flame appeared in Maleshkad's slitted eye. The goblin king fell on the monster with madness in his eyes. His sword flickered and blood splashed, scales scattered, broken across the burning mountainside. Skazara strike back in desperation. But Wrath's armor cannot be broken. Seriously, like that shit just doesn't break. Neb is hurled this way and that, but he always comes back, hot. And before the dragon can take his breath from scorched lungs, again he is back. Neb has bones broken and skin torn. The dragon is filled with pain and in his desperation. He refuses to believe that three little goblins could kill him, a dragon of unbound strength. But it was happening. Finally, he knew what he must do. He snapped his head out and took Neb in his mouth and swallowed him. Neb clawed at teeth and gums. He hacked off part of Skazara's tongue with his sword, but the dragon kept swallowing and swallowing, pushing Neb deeper and deeper towards his stomach. Neb jabbed sword in the dragon's throat, and the dragon vomited. Neb stayed caught in the throat, but the flames and acid from the stomach of the dragon, covered him, getting beneath the armor and burning him, and he understood. Dragon! He screamed. I not die until you dead. I swear, by hell that make you, I swear, I not die until you dead. Dragon! Skazmar choked in agony, and Neb loses the grip on his sword and fell. He splashed in the acid and lashed out as it burned him, right? The acid of the dragon's stomach. Shrieking and hurling his bile and hate until it consumed him, until it's all that he is. And the eye awake. For the first time since the battle that ended the age of creation, the eye of Mleshikot opened and looked through Reth's helm again. It's open wide, and the flames poured forth, and the dragon's face bulged in shock as he felt the weight of the creator's wrath on him. We're talking about the big M. In his stomach, Neb could feel the primal fury that gave birth to life. He has sunk to the bottom of the stomach, right? All the acid's eating it, and the acid is eating his skin and has taken his eyes, and he still hates. He dig fingers into the stomach wall and rip. He tear, and the dragon scream. He tear until his legs are eaten away at the knees, until his fingers fall apart, until his body collapses, until his ruined head rests against the torn dragon skin. Barely alive, Skazazarian began to pull himself towards the volcano, to bury himself in fire, to hide, to heal, frantic to keep living. He lay lying in the lip of the crater when he felt something burning, gnawing its way through him, teeth and acid and fire. He is a dragon. He is born of fire. He is the master of it. But now something is burning him. He writhed as it burrowed deep, as it destroyed him from the inside, as it tasted his heart's blood. The dragon collapsed in death at last and toppled into the volcano, just as something emerged from his chest and dropped to the ground. It's Neb's head. He's dead, but living, too angry to die, too full of Mleshikot's magic. The goblins find him there as the mountain erupts, and they flee what's left of the Tsar to scatter across the world. They take him, and he talks to them. He talks to us, and sometimes he leads us, Nebuchadnezzar, forever, king of the goblins. And there you go. Those are the stories of Nizar. Those are Neb's stories. So we will do a very quick, short Q&A, and then I will wish you all thank you, and then I will go and figure out why the heck my computer audio is not working the way it should. But thank you all so much for listening. That is the culmination of the Neb stories. Next week, we will probably jump into new set of stories. So that'll be exciting. But again, thank you all so very much for listening. Apologies for all of the technical difficulties, and I will open the floor for the next 3.5 minutes for any potential questions. Woo! Good luck on your armor, buddy. 3 weeks of counting. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. I don't think I'm gonna blast. Oh, Neb's head now is in, I don't know where Quickie is, but it's with Quickie of Jester's Court in the basket with him. So I had Neb for a little bit. I've lived with Neb twice. He's an absolute fuck. Neb is absolutely headstrong, my friend. He is an absolute fuck. Also, good joke. But yeah, Neb is. That's not nice. I mean, as you saw in the story, that's not nice. This is technically Nebuchadnezzar. This is like Nebhead. I kind of use this to describe both Nebs, like the Neb's soul, because it's kind of the same thing. But technically, Neb and Nebuchadnezzar were two different people, right? Something to consider. I think the next one will probably look into discussing would be maybe some of the stories of Scribbit. That could be cool. I think I'd like to talk about Cloaca. That could be cool. Yes, I can get ahead in life with him. It's so fun. He's the greatest. Yeah, we can talk a little bit about Oaxaca. We can talk about Oaxaca. We probably talk a little bit about stories of Ren. That could be cool. Um, and then I think I will discuss why potentially Frostbane unlikely winners, truthfully. Maybe. Um, I I could do I could. I can absolutely do that with story course. It just depends on if y'all want me to. I mean, fuck Mogus, I'll probably be in Ghost Camp. So we can. So right. So the next one we're going to be doing and discussing here are probably going to be some little things about Oaxaca. And then I think I'm going to commit to doing my chapter stories, and that will wrap us up with mini goblin stuff. And then we're going to dive into community interviews and such. We'll probably talk to Brazen about trolls. Yeah, then we'll talk to Castro about Skaven in no particular order. Like, these are just some folks. Talk to Stellar about the Dar. Um, I'd love to get Dagger on about Gnolls. It would be really cool to have Monsieur Techno talk to talk about Lima infection. Um, yeah, that should be fun. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for bearing with me through all of these technical difficulties. I hope you enjoyed the stories of Neb, and I will see you next time we've got story time. Thank you so very much for taking some time to sit with me under the mushroom cap. I really do hope you enjoyed your stay. Remember, join us for the bench Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Should be a really fun bench episode coming up. And with that being said, everybody, I wish you a fantastic rest of your evening, and I will see you next time under the mushroom cap.